Hey boys and girls, good morning and welcome back to today's Heroes Log Cabin. You want to know what's going to happen today at the Heroes movie tents? Let's go!
It's me, Ruby. When broken, Jesus rebuilds me. Let's go see what Reverend Albert PJ has to tell us this morning.
Most parents in India want a boy as a child. My family was different. They wanted a girl. I wouldn't have had a problem with that if my dad didn't tell me that when I was very small. He said, "We didn't want you. We wanted a girl." I felt so rejected. And so I tried to do everything that I did to my best. I was good at studies. I was always a distinction student. I was good at every extracurricular activity that the school had. Good at music, quiz, elocution, good at sports. At one point I ran for Karnataka. And I came home with the cup and my dad looked at it and said, your school has gone so bad that you should get the prize. Completely shattered me. I was broken. And so I decided to become rebellious and began accepting challenges. One of it came when I was in school. My friends posed a challenge if I could smoke a full cigarette in class when my teacher was there. I did it. And I thought it was cool. And so I continued on with smoking cigarettes. Soon I graduated. Not in studies, but I graduated from smoking to alcohol, from alcohol to drugs. And before I even knew it, I was an injecting drug user. And my drug use was very different because when I had money, I would use the best. When I didn't have, I would use whatever came my way. And so I was a multiple drug user. All I could think about was where I would get my next fix from. Sometimes it was not possible. I just couldn't afford it. And then it gets very difficult. I go through something called as withdrawals and it's very painful. I used to feel all my joints paining, feel nausea, I would feel giddy and very difficult. My life was a complete mess. To support my drugs, I would steal, I would manipulate, I would say lies. And I got into a lot of trouble. And so my dad threw me out of home. Lived with friends for a while and eventually I was on the street. And I remember this one day I slept in Johnson Market with just newspaper to cover me from cold Bangalore. It was very difficult. And one day, I saw this friend of mine coming towards me. This guy used to copy from me in school. I thought I'm going to get something. He saw me, he turned and walked away. And as I looked at myself, I was so dirty. And I would always wear black and I'm sure I looked pretty bad. And don't blame him for walking away. But that's when I asked a question, what happened to me? Why am I like this? Suddenly I remembered something that I'd learned as a child. A song. The song was this. Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so. I prayed my very first prayer to God. God, do you really love me? God gave me such a peace in my heart with which I knew that He does love me. And so I prayed my second prayer. I said, get me out of all this mess. And then I remember walking out from Johnson Market into that park in front and made a bonfire of all that was there in my pocket. I remember very clearly a foreign lighter just burst. And then as I walked home, Mom was waiting at the door like she knew I was going to come back. Dad was still very skeptical. He thought this is one more of my tricks. It took him a while. But the changes were slow and evident. I cut my hair first, began to sleep on time, eat on time. And one of those days I got up very early around 6:30. Dad noticed it, came and gave me a hug. I felt such a peace in my heart. Like a peace that I'd never felt before. I knew that something was different. I knew that this is going to change things for me. I went back to college and passed out as the best student of the college I went to. Today, I have 2 master's degrees. Never thought that I would have a family. I have a lovely family with 2 wonderful children. I'm really happy now. I should have been dead or maybe in jail, but the fact that I'm alive, I believe has a purpose for my life. And from there, birthed a dream to start an NGO, to work with those who are struggling with different kinds of addictions. And so we started an organization called Abhayam. Now the word Abhayam is a Sanskrit word. It means freedom and shelter. And we have all kinds of people that come in for rehabilitation. One of the things that happens in the home is a compulsory guitar class. And as a result, we now have a band that travels around singing songs of hope and freedom.
Dear children, just as Reverend Albert reached out to stranded and marooned people, we too can reach out to help our struggling family and friends. God bless you. Hey, wait! We did it again! We forgot our Bible verse for today. It says in Psalms chapter 147 verses 3, He heals the broken-hearted and binds up their wounds.